All right. Good morning, everyone. What's up, Amanda? What's up, Erly?
Good morning, Amy. Hi, Erly. How are you?
Good. Hello, good morning.
We're going to call you Erly because that's what your friends call you.
Yes.
Even though we're just meeting. This is awesome. We really appreciate you being on here. And we've been talking about meeting and talking with you for several weeks. So this is pretty exciting for us. I'm going to go ahead and give our introduction, okay? For anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure a lot of people know, this is Erly Gomez. I'm going to give you a little bit of her background. She is a wife and mother of 4 sons, grandmother of 6. She's a youth minister for her church. That's her private life. Now on to her physical life. She is a lot of things. So here we go. She's a SFG level 1 and 2. She also has her SFL with Strongfirst. She just completed Strongfirst Sinister. Impressive. Amy has done that too. She has been a powerlifter since 2013. She still holds the world record from 2015 for the Raw Federation for her squat total, and you can explain what that means when we get going here, Erlinda. Okay. And what really caught our eye the other day, well, lots of things, but when you double press those 2 36 kilogram bells for 2 reps, that is 158 pounds. I mean, that is massive. I was just blown away when I saw that. That was so cool. And she has been coached and mentored by Jason Marshall since 2012. And actually, I messaged Jason and he had some things to say about you, if you don't mind me reading them.
Okay.
Try not to cry. He said, Erly is an all-around awesome person. Everyone who knows her loves her. She is the most coachable student I've ever had the honor of working with because of her potential and her drive. She has become family to me and my family, and she is one of my best friends. We're definitely kindred spirits. That was Jason. Welcome, Erly.
So awesome. I just like he's an amazing guy. So that's pretty cool.
He is.
Yeah. I've met him once at I spent the weekend with him at a SFL, and it is just an amazing guy. And he talked about you a lot at that SFL. That was back in 2015. Yeah. And I was like, who's this person he's talking about? And I got online and looked and I was like, whoa, she's amazing. So
yeah, he was my team leader at my first Strongfirst event.
So you were as well. I did my first SFG there in March 2013.
Yes.
Yes. Houston. Yes. I was in Karen's team.
Okay. I was wondering. I was like, you were not with. Okay. That's good to know, because I was like, I would have definitely remembered you.
I was in Karen's team, and I was really new to Strongfirst and to like the whole system. It was actually pretty interesting because I think we had just did our HKC. I want to say that November. We did in Albuquerque, November, August. And then we found out that they were splitting, and I was like, okay, so what are we doing? So then I went through the Strongfirst, the first Strongfirst level certification. It was pretty cool.
That was quite a cert, wasn't it?
Yes. I did not know who anybody was there. Like, and then later, as I'm getting familiar with the organization, I was like, oh, I met them. Oh, I met her. I know that. It's so cool.
Yeah. Everyone was there. It was so cool. That was such a big group. It was amazing. It was tough though, but it was great.
Yes, it was pretty cool.
was that 13 or 14? It was 13.
13.
Yeah, because I did mine in 2000, my first in 14, and I think I just kind of stalked everybody. Facebook, they put a lot of pictures out, and I got so excited seeing the energy and everybody doing their thing. I just couldn't wait for the next year to come around when I could do it. So
yeah. I learned a ton from Jason that cert too. He kept, every time he come around, he would say the same thing: get stronger for everything.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
So how did you get into strength training? I mean, tell us a little bit about your background and just what prompted you to even start this path to a world record.
World record. Let's see. Well, I was never athletic before. Like, ever athletic. High school days, nothing athletic. I was actually would run a lot. Started in my 30s, where I started running, so I was pretty heavy set, and I was really into more aerobic classes, more like step, body pump. Got certified in them, and I really liked it. And then I met this. His name is Alan Martin. I met him, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing a class over there. It looks pretty cool, you know." And it was kettlebells, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I really should." I was like, let me go try it. So I went up there and I tried it, and I was like, I loved it, because I'm an adrenaline person. Like, I was like, yes, feels good. So anyways, did that, and then it was at our gym for maybe half a year, and it moved to another location. I was like, I don't like that location. I'm not gonna do it, blah, blah, blah. And so I had ran into him, and he was like, hey, you. And I was like, oh, what's up? You know, and he's like, I need you to come back and do kettlebells, and I want you to get certified. And I'm like, okay. So that's the way I got introduced into to kettlebells and stuff. I loved it from the beginning. I lifted the weight. I just it was really neat. And then I would go to his class, and he'll be like, God, you're man strong. And I was like, thanks, I think. And so there would be a couple of men that would be there, and they're like, please don't lift beside me. And I'm like, why? They're like, because you lift about the same weight that they do. And I was like, okay. So I was like, he would always tell me, is like, you need to stop that running. You don't need to be running. And he goes like, you're just too strong for running. He's like, I'll introduce you to somebody. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, his name is Jason Marshall. And I was like, okay, cool, you know. And that's how I met Jason, is through him and stuff. And he was like, she needs to get certified. She needs to do powerlifting. She's like super strong. And I was like, thanks. I mean, I didn't know like what the difference was. I could go pick up a 24 kilo and press it, squat it. Like, it was just something that was, I thought it was pretty normal, you know, like for me. And so when the guys would be like, don't lift beside me, I was like, okay, didn't know there was something wrong with it.
So you had no idea
None.
of your potential and your strength. You'd never seen yourself as this strong person.
No, I never did. And sometimes I'm like, okay, and even till now, I'm like, okay, yes, I do all these, I can press this, but I'm always like, there's always somebody stronger, you know? So, and then my daughter-in-law is always like, you're stronger, bad, you know? And I'm just, yeah, thanks.
So you just have this natural strength ability, huh, Erlinda? Like, just
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, I think so. And if I talk too fast, let me know, because I tend to like, oh.
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
That's really awesome.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was really didn't realize how the strength I had. So then I got into there. I got started. Jason started training me first to do the HKC. So I met him in 2012. He got me ready for HKC, and that's where I went to Albuquerque, and I met Czar. I didn't even know who Czar was until later. I was like, he trained me. Like, it was pretty cool. I did so I did the HKC there, and then from that time to March, I was able to go ahead and get everything ready for the SFG. And it was so funny, because when we would be there, they were like, oh my God, you train with Jason Marshall? You train with Jason Marshall? It's like, me and my partner, the girl that went through the ceremony, they're like, me and her looking at each other, were like, I guess he's a big deal. We don't know. It was pretty cool. Like I said earlier, it's like, I did not know anybody until way after. I was like, oh yeah, I met Tracy Rifkin and Mark Rifkin, and I was like, oh, that's what it was so cool. Like, it was pretty cool.
It was very cool. Very cool. So, okay, after that certification, then what came next? Were you already powerlifting at that point, or?
I did start powerlifting. So my first powerlifting meet was back in November of 2013. And that was a pretty cool powerlifting meet. Very raw, very new to the sport. I think our first one was through NASA, Powerlifting Federation. And it was so funny, my first powerlifting meet, because I get very nervous and I tend to just freak out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. So when we were warming up for the squat, I dropped 225 pounds in the warm-up session.
Just off your back?
Off my back. I got stuck and I was like, Jason's like, just drop it. So Jason was back. I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can do this. I was like, I don't know. And he's like, Erly, you can do this. He gave me the pep talk and I'm like, I don't think I can. Because have y'all done a powerlifting meet?
No.
No. Well, it's pretty intimidating. You're out there in front of everybody and everybody's looking at you and you're just like, I don't know if I can do this. Like I said, it was very raw to the sport, and I was like, okay, I'll make myself do this. You have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? So, I went out there and it went pretty good. I got first place in my division. I was able to do so. Usually have 9 attempts, 3 for squat, 3 for bench, 3 for deadlift. Well, I got to do four attempts in each one to break records. And so I didn't know that was a big deal. And Jason was like, you have no idea. I'm like, I was like, it's the 4th attempt pretty good. Well, I haven't had the 4th attempt in a long time. It was just, but it was really neat.
Wow.
That's so great. You have this, some people, they train their bodies and their minds to limits. And you don't seem to have ever done that, because in your head, there's no limit. So your body, you're able to do it because you're naturally very strong also, and you train well and you train when you have a great coach. So honestly, it's gosh, the sky's the limit for you, Erlinda.
I do a lot because my sons they're pretty funny. I always give them a hard time. I always tell everybody, they're always like, oh, that's all you lift, Mom? Oh, you're not strong at all. And I'm just looking at them and I'm like, thanks, I guess. So I didn't really get, they really didn't start talking about me. Maybe probably when they went to a couple of the powerlifting meets and they were like, oh, my mom's really strong.
Yeah.
They give me a hard time all the time. So
what I love about watching you when you've got videos up or Jason's posted is the sheer joy though that you show when you do it. I mean, it isn't just yes, you're nervous, I'm sure when you go to powerlifting, but you also seem like you are truly enjoying being there. And I think that's just wonderful. And that's what that's why I try to promote strength training with other women, especially. It's because no. Once you start doing this, it is so much fun. And there's so much emotion and joy that comes from getting that big lift or accomplishing something.
Yeah. I love it. I really do. I go in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't know. I pressed the 44 last year, and that was a big accomplishment. And I was so excited. The training was so boring though, but I loved it. Oh, okay, I'm pressing it, I can do this. It's I do a lot of self-talk to myself. I can do this. If I set my mind to it, I will be able to do this. And I think that's one of the things that helps me out a lot is just going in there and just, I write me little 3x5 cards and I'm like, I'm a strong person. I'm going to press this. I just can visualize it and speak it a lot. So it's pretty neat.
Have you ever, and now Amanda and I have both admitted to crying after achieving something, and I've cried. I cried after my snatch test. I cried after bending a big nail. Have you ever actually got tears?
Yes, I have. I think last year in September, I think it was my September powerlifting meet, I finally was able to pull the 402, and I was so excited. It's like I did it. I was able to pick that up. It was really, I do cry. I'm a little bit emotional, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
I cry when I did get it. I cry when I fell. I remember one day I went out to Danny's place out in Tucson. Danny Sawaya.
Oh,
We
yeah,
did
yeah.
we did a powerlifting meet out there, and I was just off that powerlifting meet it was hard. And I remember going out there and I just bawled because I missed the weight. And I'm like, I know I could do this weight. I've done it in training. I missed the weight. And I'm like, I don't want nobody to see me cry. So I'm outside and I'm crying. And here comes Jason. And I'm like, he's like, it's okay. And I'm like, I failed. It was really, but yeah, I cry when I get some really good lifts. And then also, also when, can you see that? Okay. Also when I fell.
Yeah, it happens.
I just think that's part of us emotionally.
It is.
So it's really neat.
So you spoke a little bit about visualization, and I believe that is so powerful. And I learned it several years ago when I was attempting to do, something that I'd been working on for so long. And when I started visualizing it, it all came together. What is your process for doing that, so people can hear that?
My process is I usually write down what my goals are, what I want to lift. I go through there and like I said, I use a 3x5 card, and I will speak it. I will go here to my house now that everybody, like all my sons are gone. I can just have some time just to go in there and just visualize what I'm going to do. Like, okay, when I'm about to deadlift, where are my feet? Where are my hands? And I see myself pulling that weight already. And I try to do it in a daily basis, just to sit down a couple of minutes, not very long, just a couple of minutes, and really see it, what I'm lifting. And also speaking with me. So whenever I'm going anywhere, I have my card with me and I'm speaking that card. I am always speaking that card, just so that way I know that mentally I'm getting prepared where I need to be at. Because I think that's a big deal on there, because when you don't visualize yourself or you don't speak it enough, well, then you don't get that confidence that you need to be able to lift that weight or to do what you need to do. And I mean, it's not just for lifting weight, it's in any aspect in your life that you want to do. Just speaking it and visualizing it and knowing that you can have that confidence in yourself that you can do it. So, yeah. And I learned that a long time ago. Like I read a lot of self-help books, a lot of motivation books, discipline, and just I've been doing that since I want to say like my mid-20s. I wish I would have done it sooner. And it's just your mentality, the way you have to think about certain things and stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's my coach always says too, that, he's like, the strength is there. It is absolutely there. And the training is training your central nervous system to allow you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the visualization, like seeing it and knowing for sure that you can do this, is a huge part of it, and accepting that.
Mm-hmm.
And not training to limits, not limiting your own self, doubt or progress. Yeah. Just knowing that you can absolutely do it, but those things have to come together. So,
cool. I believe that. And I mean, and even if you miss the lift or you miss what you weren't doing it, you just pick yourself back up and you're like, okay, I can do this again. I'm able to do this again. I mean, the kettlebells and powerlifting has taught me so much. Like, I mean, because the weight never lies, right? Like, if you can't lift it, you're not going to lift it. It's not going to go anywhere. And I see a lot of that now in life. Is like, okay, like I didn't get this done, well, then I could do this, But it's just getting your mind right, and making sure that you can talk yourself like, I can do this. So,
yeah. That's good. Good
you
message.
Had talked about that in prepping for that, pressing the 44, and how the training is boring. And it is sometimes the training we do leading up to these things we want to accomplish it's kind of monotonous, but I have found that those programs that where you simplify and you just dial in, I think we talked to Mike Sousa, we talked about the what is it, mile deep, inch wide. I mean, you really dive deep, but then you start finding, I find myself applying the same thought processes to everything else I do in my life.
Mhm.
And that discipline just, it really makes the rest of your day and life so much easier, having that discipline.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it we did, so I'm pretty sure both of you have done like the rite of passage and everything, rite of passage. And that's what we did for training, is like I'll go in there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, go in, go do what I need to do, and I'll be like, okay, got it done. You know, some days you feel like, oh, I got it. Like, why am I doing this? But then when it comes to that moment, you're like, oh, I worked 12 weeks for this moment, you know? So, and it's really, it really helps out just having that confidence in getting everything done that you need to get done on there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you coach people yourself?
I do. So I do train a few people, not a lot. I have a really busy life. So we, at Jason's place, we do couple of classes. He does one early morning, and then I do one about lunchtime, and then he and I train in the afternoon. So it's a very small place. We train anywhere from 1 to 10 people, no more than 10 people. So I do some training. It's not a full-time job or anything. I just go in there twice a week, and I train a couple of clients and stuff. So it's really neat. I found that my favorite age group is 50 and above to train.
I like it too.
Yeah, they're just because they're training for the longevity, the movement, and being able to do everyday tasks. And I have found that's pretty awesome to see. So right now I have a couple of clients. They're in their 70s, and I just love seeing them move and getting up and off the ground. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty amazing, because we go to everyday life, there's a lot of people that can't do that, you know, their age. So it's pretty neat. So yes, I do train a couple of clients here and there. So been doing it for maybe I want to say about 4 years. So.
And are those clients, do you use the kettlebell? I mean, do you use like the get up and progressions of the get up to help them with their?
Yes, we do use, so we don't introduce, so we'll teach them very simple basics first, just like the movement pattern of the deadlift, the movement pattern of a squat, just to see where they're at. Jason usually does like the FMS with them and see where they're at. And we just go from there. And we had one person that didn't touch kettlebell for a whole year. Like, he came in and he was very slumped over, knees were like, he was a runner all his life, and he really didn't touch a kettlebell for like the first full year, just because we got him first moving, stretched out, getting where he needed to be to be able to progress with the kettlebell. And he was such an awesome guy. I remember that he came in, he's like, guess what? And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what? He's like, I went to the doctor today. I was like, oh, really? He's like, I grew. But it was just from where he was so slumped over and the way he said, and the doctor was like, come back over here. Did you have your shoes on? And he's like, no, I was barefooted. And they checked his height again. He's like, it was just from him, from so many years of running and not standing up straight, and just, you know, and just getting him to those spots. And I was like, oh, that's really cool, you know? So it was really neat to see things like that. And then there at the I think he stopped training about a year ago, but he started doing pull-ups and light deadlifts with a barbell, and it was really awesome to see.
That's great. That's
and
a great
away and
what is your favorite out of all the power lifts? What's your favorite to train and to do?
So my favorite is squat. But I tend to do better with deadlift. Okay. And it's so funny. So squat, I love it. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. And then I'm like, I tend to lose everything when I start training for the squat. It's like, I think I get into my head sometimes. But the deadlift, I I do really good with it and training, and usually with competition. Sometimes, and it's so crazy because I'll be like struggling sometimes with my lifts, and then when it's time to perform, it's like, okay, game on, and the switch flips on me, and I'm ready to. I mean, everything seems to work out mentally. It's like, okay, let's go, let's get it going. So it's been pretty cool. But yeah, squat's my favorite.
I think you're the first person that has said squat.
Squat, yeah.
That's their favorite. Yeah. I mean, I wish it was my favorite. I wish I loved it. I'm trying. I do it every day.
Yeah, enjoy the squat and stuff. So deadlift is like, oh gosh, if it's not gonna move, or I didn't know. It's just like, okay, I gotta. And it was funny because I usually pull sumo, and I wound up doing conventional the last time, and my conventional and my sumo lifts are pretty similar with each other weight wise, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I think sometimes I get into my mind when I'm getting into the deadlift. But that one always, I seem to perform better on my deadlift when I'm out on the platform.
Okay.
What does your like a training cycle look like for you in terms of the amount of time you spend and kind of how you progress? Does Jason typically write your programs, or?
So I'm a little spoiled that way. He's like, here's your program. And I'm like, all right. So he writes all my programs for me. We'll usually find out the date that we're going to go from, and it's usually a 12-week cycle. And we did do a couple of strong endurance programs where you were doing both lifts on some days, and one day was heavy, one day was light. That really took a toll on my body. Like it was hard for me to recover. So we keep it pretty basic. Usually Monday is squat day, Tuesday is bench day, Thursday is deadlift day. And we start with the 853 up until there. And then, so we'll do like a 12-week program, and then he'll do a peaking cycle for me. And so I'll go from there. Usually just keeping, when we did try the other ones, like I said, it would wear me out. So I would be like, hey, there's no way I can do this. So he'll change my programs and do it on there. So I'm pretty glad that he does all of the programming. I mean, even right now with all our training, he's like, oh, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, okay. So I'm in there and I'm like, let's just do it. So, I mean, we've trained so long together that he knows what I can do and everything on there. So.
And there's obviously this year, all the powerlifting meets, well, up until I think the fall, are canceled. Did you have one on the horizon that now you're postponing, or?
No, I didn't. I went ahead and take off a year off from there. Last year, so my last powerlifting was in September, and I was only 8 pounds away from a 1,000-pound total, and I was so excited. So excited, but it really took a toll on me. But there was so many stuff going on in the background, like family wise. There's just so much. It took a really big toll on me, and I had decided before all of this, the lockdowns and everything happened, is I'm like, I'm gonna take the year off, recover, do kettlebell, do my stuff with kettlebells, because usually when I'm doing powerlifting, I usually don't touch the kettlebell. Like I'll go do just maybe a few swings, but nothing big or anything else. So I'm taking the year off. I'm hoping next year that I want to do another one in March of next year. Hopefully I can get my 1,000-pound total.
I bet you will.
That's incredible. Wow.
But, yeah, it took a lot out of me, especially when you have so much stuff going on, kids, grandkids, church, your own business. And then I decided to go back to work, and so I was just like, it's too much stuff on me right now. So
yeah,
nothing right now. hoping next March.
Yeah. It is interesting. I'm in Oregon, and we are a running crazy state. And I like you, I spent many years running, very focused on endurance kind of things, those activities. And when I talk to some of my friends that who everybody's training for a marathon or everybody's training for the next 10K, and they just don't understand that there's that same level of preparation and that same toll on your body as preparing for a distance event as there is for a powerlifting meet or any strength pursuit.
Yeah.
And that's just, I've had a hard time communicating that, and that the euphoria you get when you complete is exactly the same.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, it's a great feeling to do it. And I'm one that I like to like, okay, let's do this. And I'll push myself. And then I think this past year, it was like, I just need to regroup myself and get to where I need to get. And I mean, and powerlifting is a little, in order for you to stay healthy and maintain yourself, you have to do a lot. Like, it's time consuming, it's expensive. Like, I mean, just to keep up with myself is, going to a chiropractor, getting massages, making sure that I'm stretching, and, it just it can consume you. And I'm like, my family's growing. I need to stop and enjoy them. And so I was like, I just need to take a year off. I'll come back and do it, and I'm enjoying it because I haven't done a lot of kettlebell stuff in a while because I've been so involved in powerlifting. It's like, oh, I want this next number and I want this. And, I'm like, I need to get this. So just stepping back a little bit and just regrouping myself, I guess. So it's
Awesome.
been pretty, yeah. But I mean, you do get that high when you're out on the platform. You're like, yes, I lifted that. I remember that high also when I would run, do the half marathons. I did one marathon, and after that, I was like, I'll never do that again. But the half marathons, I loved. I mean, you would just get in that high, in that zone. But it takes a lot of time. You have to schedule your runs. Today I'm running so many miles, and then every day out of the week, we followed the Hal Higdon running program, and you were running quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it does take any sport that you do, I think, and that you're passionate about, love, and you want to compete in it. It takes a lot of time and discipline, and it takes time away from other stuff as well. So
yeah. Does your husband do anything with you?
No. No, he loves. He's always very supportive. I mean, he's very supportive of my powerlifting, and I mean, pretty much everybody he meets is like, my wife competes in powerlifting, or my wife's a kettlebell instructor. Very supportive. The funny thing is, he was very active, and him and my children, they would do martial arts. He's a first degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I would just sit back and like, I'm not interested in any of this stuff. And so, like I said, I started getting into training or working out in my 30s, and I was like, can you buy me a gym membership? And he looked at me like, you're not going to use that gym membership. Like, there's no way. So when he did, I got it, and I mean, I became hooked on it. So when I started working out and doing all these classes and everything, he just fell off. Like, he stopped doing his Taekwondo, he stopped doing his running, and it's so funny. So I'm like, how do we switch roles like that? So, but he's a very supportive husband. He's like, goes to a lot of the meets that I'm at.
That's cool.
I always give him a hard time. They're always telling him, like, how does it feel to have a wife stronger than you? He's like, I love it. Like, it's so neat. So,
sounds like a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. So
that's awesome. Hey, will you explain to me real quick? Okay, so we're talking about your world record from 2015, and I've not done any meets or anything, and I don't know a lot about powerlifting, but for the Raw Federation, your squat total, what does that mean? What does that look like?
So my squat, I had the highest squat from the open and from all of the categories. From pretty much you're competing with all the women. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the weight class. So I got that total, the world record for that total. For the squat, but I also, so there's another total that you have. So you have your squat, your bench, and your deadlift, and then your whole total, which is called your Wilks total. And I had the total, nobody has beat that total combined from the squat, the deadlift, and the bench. So I hold it both on the total and on the squat for that federation.
Okay.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. And like I said, there was a story to that. I competed in that one in Arizona, and so they put all my Texas records because I was in there. So they put all my Texas records, and I took 1 year off from there because my grandfather had gone sick, and so we were spending a lot of time with him. And so I get a call, and they're like, "We invited you to an invitation powerlifting meet." Because you hold the world record, and you cannot respond. It's like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, would you like your belt? I'm like, my belt. I was like, sure. He's like, okay, well, you got to pay $65 and we'll send you your belt. And I'm like, okay. And I paid the $65. So I was like, there's no way I got a belt on there. So a week later, here comes this belt where it says like 100% Raw Federation, world record holder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was real. So I go to Jason's, I go to training that day, and I'm like, check this out. He's like, what's that? I was like, he goes, you got your world record? I was like, yeah, I didn't even know. It was really cool. He was like, how many people come in here with a belt saying they had the world record for it? So that was pretty neat.
That's awesome. That is a great story.
You don't have it right there with you?
He comes in and he's like, his eyes were like, hey. And I was like, I know.
Is it on your mantle? Is it on your mantle?
So I have a home gym. So I made a little shelf for it, and it looks really cool on there. When I came in, when my kids would come home, I had my belt on. I was like, check this out.
Oh, that's fun.
You wore it for a week. Chicken dinner.
Yeah, so that was one of the cool powerlifting meets I've had. I mean, all of the powerlifting meets are pretty fun and everything. I tend to do pretty good on my powerlifting meets. I had this last powerlifting meet that I had in Fort Worth. I didn't even know there was a girl. So I had this girl, and we compete with each other. We're really close. Like, we're always like 5 pounds away from each other. And for the last 3 years, I compete out in Fort Worth. And she was like, I've been stalking you. And I'm like, okay, you didn't even request me as a friend. She's like, no, I don't want to be your friend. I just want to see what you're lifting. So it's always a competition between me and her. And it was so funny. And I wound up getting her only by, I think that one was only by 2.5 pounds. And she was like, I'll get you next year. I was like, I compete next year.
Oh.
Which was this year.
Yeah.
In March, and it was really neat. It was so funny. I was like, you didn't even request me as a friend? She's like, no, I just want to see what you lift.
That's funny. So funny.
Do you know how many you've done? How many meets?
How many meets I've done? I've done probably, oh my gosh, hold on. 2013 was my first. I've done about 12 of them, 12 powerlifting meets. Okay. So I tend to do 2 a year. I like to do 2 a year. And then I know I took off the year of 2015 is when I got that belt. I took the year off. And then I've been doing 2 pretty much every year. August and March are usually about the times I like to compete. So.
I was planning to do my first this August. There was one scheduled that was pretty close to me, 2 hours away. I live fairly remotely in Oregon, so I have to kind of time where everything is and how far of a drive. And it was perfect. It was billed as a beginner meet. Then, of course, with lockdowns, plans change. That's okay. I'll do it next year.
Did you continue training after that for the powerlifting thing?
No, I mean, I'm still, actually, I've just recently have switched my programming to pretty much strictly kettlebell. But I had been lifting barbell for about 6 months.
About 6 months.
It'll be a nice break. Then I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool. You'll love your first meet. I mean, it's amazing. Like just having that feeling afterwards. After I had that little mess up the first powerlifting meet, I mean, it's just, you just get a high. You're like, yeah, I did that. So you'll love it. You'll have to try it.
Yeah, I plan to.
You'll have to try it.
Yeah, I will. Amy just wants to wear the singlet. That's why she wants.
I just want a singlet.
I regret the first singlet I had. It was horrible. I got talked into it. They're like, you should wear this pink cool singlet, you know, that has like all kinds of stuff. And after I see the video now, I'm like, no, I should have just stuck with the black. They're not fun. And sometimes they're unforgiving.
When we're ready to order ours, we'll contact you and see what you suggest.
Yeah, we'll get some advice.
You know, I do not like wearing a singlet, but you have to. I love it. I love powerlifting. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So now you're training with kettlebells then currently.
Yes.
You have a goal at the moment you're shooting for?
No. So we've been doing. So we did the Sinister. And that was not fun. Like, I mean, it was, but you know, all them swings were killing me. It's a lot of swings. We did the timeless program, both Jason and I, right before quarantine happened. We were doing the timeless program, and I was able to get it right before they started shutting down our city and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And then when we started back up in May, we started doing a different program, and it's helped me do my get the double 36. We're doing easy strength, and I was able to get the double 36. I didn't think I was going to get it, but I was like, okay, let me try and see. And so that's what we have right now. It's just working on kettlebell stuff. We'll change it up probably in a few weeks and on there, but no goal yet. I know I do want, for powerlifting at least, is that 1,000-pound total, but that'll be sometime next year. But for kettlebells, I don't have anything set what I would like to do.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Well, it's all just fun. You're probably like Amanda and I love getting out there and training every day, even if it is the same old thing day after day.
I do. So I'll train at Jason's Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And then on Wednesdays, Friday, and Saturdays, I still like to do stuff here at my house with the barbell. So since we're not lifting barbell stuff over there, I am still trying to maintain some kind of maintaining strength. So I'll do like Friday, I'll do some bench. This morning I woke up early. I went to go walk, and then I did some squats, and just trying to keep everything going. But there's nothing excessive, just something simple, get my body going and moving.
Yeah.
Once you start with the barbell, and I'm like, oh, don't want to lose strength, so I'll just, maintain some of it. So it's good.
Do you walk every day?
I started walking when quarantine started happening. So one of my sons has quite a bit of kids. he has 5 kids, and so I started off walking with them first. I would go pick up the older children, and we would go for a walk. I'll go give mom a break for about an hour and a half, and I started walking with them, and I was like, oh, I forget how good it feels, And so now I'll go by myself. Like I pick them up 2 days out of the week, and then for me, I'll get up early in the morning. I'll just go do like a 1 to 2 mile walk, and just enjoy everything. Just enjoy being out there, some quiet time. So, but yeah, I've picked it up since March, and it's just been a daily thing to go and do.
Yeah.
I just feel it relaxes me and like it clutters my mind, relieves me from stress. So it's been good.
And it's good, nice recovery too. When you're lifting, it's a great way to just recover from that heavy lifting. And
Yeah. So I've been enjoying the walking. I've been enjoying taking the grandkids walking. So
that's great. How many grandkids again do you have?
So I have 6 grandkids. I just found out Wednesday I'm going to be a grandma again.
Oh,
So it's going to be 7 on there that I have.
congratulations.
Thank you. Out of those 6, I call 2 of them my instant grandkids because she already had children. She already had 2 children before she got with my son, but I just love them so much. So I call them my instant grandchildren because they're a little bit older and they're like, how did you get this? But yeah, so I call them
that's awesome.
They're just, I love all my babies. Really
Amanda and I are mothers of sons as well. No daughters, so.
No daughters?
No.
So are any of y'all's children, how old are y'all's children, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine's 22, and he's 22. He's single. He's got a girlfriend. He's the only one I have.
Yeah. And mine are 19 and 21.
19 and 21.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So I had all 4 boys. When the girls started coming around, I was just like, oh my gosh. So I come from, I'm an only girl, had 3 brothers, and it was always just me. And then me and my husband got together, and he has a brother. And so besides my mother-in-law, it was always just me. And then my 4 sons. And so I've never been around a lot of girls. And when the girlfriends started coming around, and now the wife, I was like, oh God, I gotta get used to other girls being in my kids' life, or just being in our life. It's been fun. I've been learning a lot. And then I got granddaughters, and they're something else.
I bet.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, God didn't give me a girl for a reason.
We say the same thing. It's like, thank you. See what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to kind of learn. I'm thinking, how am I going to learn how to do hair, in my 50s? Because I can't even do my own hair. And
do my hair like, oh my gosh. I'm just like, okay, I'll just do something quick. My granddaughter, my granddaughter, she's little, and I've been trying to do her ponytails, and her ponytails never come out straight. They're like to the side, or. But I was like, God, boys and girls are just so different.
Yeah.
So different. And I'm just like, oh, I can't handle this yelling. I'm like, no.
That's
hear that from all my friends. And my son was so easy. Like, I just can't even imagine. But I do have nieces, and they're wild.
Yeah.
They are just the tempers and the crying, and it's like, wow, this is so new to me.
Yeah, I'm just like, why are you crying? Use your words. And I'm like, little girl, I am not. Oh,
that's when you take him out in the garage and you say, let me show you how to swing a kettlebell.
Right. Let's get that aggression out.
Yeah, there are a lot of they're teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
My boys were so easy. Like, they were so easy. I'm just a boy mom. Like,
Yeah.
So.
I will say this about girls. When I did some coaching at our high school, I was a strength coach for a while up there. And when I would coach the girls, because this was an unfortunate, kids only have so much time, but they didn't take the weight training classes like the boys did. So when I would teach them, they were so interested and wanting to learn proper technique, and they really wanted to do well. Whereas the boys kind of already thought they knew what was going on, and they just, max bench every day, but the girls were really focused on technique and programming. So I think if you can put some weights in a girl's hands, they will do well.
Yeah.
So.
I tried with some of my youth group girls, and they're just right now like, no, miss. But the boys will be like, miss, can you come and teach me? Can we go lift? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have one young client right now. She's been with me for 2 weeks, And she was like, we've got to change this up. I can feel it. I'm already bigger. I can see it. Look at my arms. I mean, they're literally this big around. I'm like, no. Like, there's just no convincing her that she's not getting bigger. Like, she just thinks she's going to be like the Hulk any minute, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's just, girls are a little different. We did train with Ray. I don't know if y'all met Ray or not, but she trained with us for a while. It was so nice having a girl though going in there, training in there with me and Jason, because it's usually me and Jason and couple other guys. So it's like, okay, so having a girl in there was nice, you know. So
Yeah.
it would be a lot of fun. She did some crying in there.
Yeah, but she's super strong, right? I remember.
She's awesome. She's one of my best friends. I was sad when she moved away.
Yeah.
But seeing her growing up, I think she came to us when she was 18, and just seeing her grow, seeing her get strong was really neat. She did a powerlifting meet with me last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. No. 2018, she did a powerlifting meet with me, and it was really cool seeing that. I was like, yes, another girl. So yeah, they are interesting. We're interesting.
Yep, very much. Well, awesome. Well, we do a thing kind of at the end. I'm going to let Amanda do it, but we have and don't think you have to hurry, but we have some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
But take your time.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Don't stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So, number one, what's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal, tacos.
All right. Favorite color?
Purple and green.
Okay. What's the last thing you read?
Last thing I read, it's been a minute. I cannot remember.
That's okay. That's the typical answer. What's the most memorable concert you've ever been to?
Memorable concert. I went to my first Metallica concert a couple of years ago. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
I really don't go to metal concerts. That was my first one. It was really neat.
That's awesome. I saw them, and it was years ago. It was right. I think I was in graduate school. It was so loud. My clothes were moving. And I was like, oh, my inside. And I got so sick because it was just like vibrating my insides. We were way up in the front. I had to move way back so I could just get away from that reverb, you know?
That was nice. I really enjoyed it. I was like, it was pretty cool.
It's a good one, definitely. What is something that people get wrong about you?
I think when I'm not talking a lot and I just have a straight face, they think I'm mean. Or a little intimidating, and I'm like, I'm really nice. Like,
you are so nice. Yeah. You can't even imagine thinking that.
They think I'm intimidating. I'm like, no, I'm really nice.
Well, maybe it's the fact that you can double press 36 kilo kettlebells.
Probably. I don't know.
When's the last time you had a hysterical laugh?
This week, training, we had an hysterical laugh. We were doing this PVC pipe. We call it a slosh pipe. It has water in it. Yeah. So we put it on our back, and we were just trying to walk with it, swaying back and forth. That was pretty funny. Seeing the younger guys do it was a lot of
fun. What is your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Like pets? Dogs?
Yeah, whatever.
Monkeys. I love monkeys. My sons were stationed San Diego, 29 Palms, San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
We went to the San Diego Zoo, and I stayed like an hour just watching monkeys. I love monkeys.
They're pretty entertaining. What is something that you procrastinate?
Everything. Pretty much a lot of stuff. Except when it comes to Strongfirst stuff. When I went with Jason to go to England, I'll make sure I was there early.
Oh, yeah,
Anything where I've had to go assist, I'm there early. But other than that, I'm pretty procrastinating on a lot of stuff.
That must have been a really cool experience. Amy and I are dying to go there and do that with Claire sometime.
Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. I mean, it was I was so fortunate to be able to go and so blessed. It was really neat. Got treated like family. It was amazing. Claire is a wonderful person. I mean, she was just great. Her team, they were all welcoming. Everybody was so nice. I loved it. I would love to go back up there again.
That venue is incredible too.
It's a beautiful.
The venue was amazing. Just having everything there locally, just you walk literally right to the training facility, and then you would go out on walks out there, and the view was just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful view. I loved it.
We're going, Amy.
We'll go.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the last movie you watched?
That's Bad Moms.
A good one. That's a great movie.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, we had dinner at my son's house, and that's a movie that was on. I was like, I love that movie. It's so
It's a good one.
So funny. And last one, what is your favorite vacation place?
I mean, England was pretty nice. It was beautiful. We went to Cancun a couple of years ago, and that was beautiful. That was like you actually rested on that vacation. It wasn't like on the go. You just got to relax the whole time. That was beautiful. Loved it.
That is it. Oh, this was so fun. I'm so glad we talked to you.
Yeah, this has been great. I can't believe it's an hour. Like, wow, this has been the fastest hour.
Wow, thanks, guys. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure people are going to be really happy to see this, and you'll probably be on more podcasts now. So
Yeah. If you have a podcast, please get Erly as your guest. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just been great to hear your story, and you're an amazing woman, and we want to share your successes, and we want the world to see what a great lady you are. And I hope our paths cross sometime in the next couple of years through Strongfirst. Yeah.
I'd love to meet everybody. When I have the opportunity to meet people, I was like, yes, I feel like y'all are family. As soon as I meet y'all, it's like, oh, I followed y'all, or I've seen y'all, so it's pretty cool. So I really appreciate it, though.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erly. And I'll have it up today, and I'll send you the link.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye.